I am not a financial advisor. Neither do I recommend any trade. This video is for educational purpose only. The content provided in this video does not include financial advice, guidance, or recommendations to take or not to take any trades, investments, or decisions in relation to any matter.
Hello everyone, thank you for watching. One request before I go into video, please subscribe, like, share, click on bell icon. Thank you. All right, let's moving on to YieldMax ETF. The December distribution date for YieldMax ETF is just days away. If you look over here, you can see that the declaration date for the month of December is December 6th, which is less than 10 days away. So there are four different dates over here. So let me spend a minute to explain what all these four dates mean. All right, as you can see, the four dates are declaration date, X date, record date, and payment date. So if you want dividend to be paid, you must buy it a day before X dividend date. That is 12/6/2023. So X date is 12/7/2023. So you must buy it a day before that, right? It must be in your portfolio. The transaction must be completed before that date so you can get the payment. So declaration date is the date that board of directors will announce the dividend payment. That is the day you will find out how much you're going to get paid. And X date is the date you must have that in your account before you get paid. And then the payment date is the date then you will have the actual payment. So we are clear on this. So there are 17 active YieldMax ETF. So if you look over here, there are 17. TSLY, APLY, NVDY, Amazon, Facebook, Google, and all of this. So in this video, I will perform an initial screening of this and I will narrow it down to 4 to 5 symbols, just 4 and 5. From 17, we will narrow it down to 4 and 5. Then we will take those 4 or 5, whichever it comes up to, and we will perform a detailed mathematical analysis of these 4 to 5. And that is what I call it cracking the code. And from that 4 to 5, we will narrow it down to 2, and those two will be on my buy list for the next week. So hope you stick around till the end to find out the conclusion of my analysis. This may be a long video, but it will provide you with all the information you need to make an informed and money making decision. It will be pure mathematical data analysis, no opinion, just data. It's all data driven, simple math to crack the code. All right, so these are the 17 active ETF that we have. So what I like to do is I want to narrow it down to 4 and 5. So there's two criteria that I use all the time. Number one, the distribution rate should be over 35%. Anything that's below 35, I just, don't pick those. The second one, the 30-day yield has to be over 4%. So based on those two criteria, let's narrow it down. Okay, this is over 35% meet my criteria. So let's do this. Okay, this one is over 35%. This 35%. and these two. Here you go. Now the second criteria, the one over 4%. These two over 4%, this over 4%, even though this is over 35%, but it does not meet my second criteria, so I'm gonna pass that one, and then these two over. So what I have so far is this meet both of my criteria, this meet the criteria, and then this meet the criteria. So you have 2, 3, and 5. So, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 that actually I narrowed down. So from 17, I narrow it down to 5. Now let's do further analysis to narrow it down to 2 and 3. Now the next step for me is to just do some basic analysis of those 5 that I selected. You can go over here in the YieldMax website. All those ETFs are here. Let's pick the one on the top of that, TSLY. I just do some basic screening, take a look at it and see when the fund was started, what the NAV is, expenses ratio is, which is pretty much same for every single one of them. But the most important thing I look for is how long the fund has been. And the second thing is what the total distribution so far has been for this particular ETF. Now, the other thing that's very important is you need to understand how the fund generate income and also what are the some of the factors that affect the price and the distribution. So if you go to this education section and videos, okay, it's taking time. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, there are 3 videos here. One, two, three. This one I will just ignore this. This is just a marketing. These 2 video that actually explain in detail, I am not gonna play it. I do not want to have a copyright issue. So if you play it, this will give you a basic idea what the YieldMax ETF is. And this one is the most informative video. This will give you an idea what are some of the factors that affect the price. So this is the one that you may want to look at it couple of times to better get an understanding of it. I took some snapshot. I will show you what are those factors are. So let's go to that one. So I recommend you take time to listen to that video. I didn't play because I just do not want to have a copyright issue. I may not, but I'm just too conservative here. So if you go to 1 minute and 13 seconds, right? At that, he really explained it very well. What are the 4 factors that affect the price of this ETF and how they generate income? The higher they generate income, the higher the distribution will be. The 4 underlying factor that affect the pricing is this. Now, the most important of all these are implied volatility. If the volatility is high, the option premium is great. And that way they generate more income and you get more distribution. If implied volatility is low, the premium is low. So the income generated is not that great and you do not get that higher the distribution. So one factor that I really want to take a look at it is implied volatility. So all right, so let's recap whatever we did so far, right? There are 17 active YieldMax ETF. So we performed initial screening of this. We had two criteria. We look at it, and based on that, we selected five of those. You can see that highlighted in green. After that, what we did is we went to the, let's go to the next tab. Let me hide this. I don't want to talk about this right now. So then what we did is we actually went back to the YieldMax ETF website and review the history of that. If you look at CONY, AMZY, and PayPal, all three of those are pretty new. There's no historical data on those, except just a month or so. Whereas Tesla and R has been around for a while, right? So it's almost like more than a year. And you can see when the fund is started, how much dividend is made make so far. So if you really look at it, I mean, the Tesla really outperformed all other of those. Now, when we look at that video, the one thing was obvious that there are four factors that affect the movement of the price, right? Number one is the price of the stock, and the most important of that is the underlying uh, stock price and the implied volatility. The volatility is the most important factor of that. So let's take a look at the price first. So we'll go back over here. I think I hide that one over here. So let me unhide it. That's it. And then I'm going to hide it for a second. Now, since we are talking about December distribution, so this price will be from the November 1st to the end of the month. Since I'm doing it today, so I have look at the price up till Friday. So if you look at all five of those, all of them has a like a positive change. So whatever it is, just let's leave it over here for a minute and let me go back to the second most important thing, which is the implied volatility. And I want to go back and look at that. And after that, we will come back and then review it all together. So, all right. So let's take a look at the five symbol that we picked after screening. So let's look at the first one, which was Tesla. If you look at the Tesla, right, the employed volatility is 48.15%. You can see it over here, right? So let's do this. Let's actually make it a little bit here. Okay, let me just do it a little bit here. All right, so let's do this. So let's use, okay. So it's 48.15%. That's Tesla. Okay, let's write it down here. Now you go to the second one is ARKK. That's 37.18%. The third one was Coin. It's CONY. And that one is 74.95%, almost 75%. Then you got MD, which is pretty low, it's 32%, and you got PayPal, right? Which is 31.57. So now we look at the implied volatility of all five of those. So let's put it back into the Excel spreadsheet and see it. All right, so we have all the information put together. So this is the data that we captured after going through those painful exercise of screening, reviewing, and collecting and going to the couple of places to do that. Now, if you look at it, the number one that really most important factor is implied volatility, which is this one. I want to highlight this with this one. Let's put this one. Now, the top two is coin, which is ETF symbol CONY, that really stand out 75%. Tesla, which is TSLY, the other top one 48.15%. So in terms of implied volatility, these two stand up. Now, in terms of the change of price, this CONY stand out. So I have no 100% actually comfortable on CONY, and this will be my first choice. Now the second is I am gonna be going for Tesla because of higher implied volatility and a positive change into the stock price. So this will be the first two pick that I will have. Now, as far as coin or CONY is concerned, this is pretty new. There's not enough historical data to do analysis, but TSLY, I am gonna do a one. Hope you like the video and analysis. So I'm sorry it was too long, but it's your hard-earned money, so it's important to understand every aspect of it. So please subscribe, like, share, comment. See you soon with another video. Thank you so much.